The internet has changed the world at its very core. Everyone watching this video uses the internet most likely multiple times a day. Um, I've done extensive research on the internet. I'm also a software engineer, so I work with the internet pretty much every day. Um, in this speech, I'll go over a little bit about the internet, more specifically its creation, a basic overview of how it works, and some of the ways that it has changed the world. With that in mind, first, I want to talk to you about the creation of the internet. Um, the first computer-to-computer transaction was completed on October 29th, 1969. The message was LO semicolon, as the computer crashed before it was able to send the whole message of log in. Um, the project's name was ARPA Net, which stands for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, and it was funded by the United States government, more specifically the Department of Defense. The modern day internet was created on January 1st, 1983, when they adopted TCP over IP. Um, we'll briefly touch on that a little bit later. It's a pretty complicated protocol, but they can get the basic steps. But we'll go over that a little bit later. Now that we've briefly gone over the internet's creation, we can go over how it actually works. Um, so basically, the internet is, well, to start from a smaller point, um, networks are a system of connected computers. They allow one computer to talk to another computer with IP addresses. And IP addresses are just, they're much like your house has an address, your computer has an IP address. It's just a way to find a specific computer or device. Within networks, you have routers, and routers control how computers talk to each other. They just direct traffic in a centralized manner. Um, and routers, well, sounds a little technical. It's not. It's basically a computer um, that its only function in life is to manage the traffic that's going between the two computers. Um, and the internet itself is just basically a big interconnected system of routers. So one computer says, I have a message for computer X, and the router that your computer is connected to finds the router that computer X is connected to by talking to other routers, which brings us back to that TCP over IP, which more or less just sends out a bunch of packets saying, hey, where's this computer? And one of the routers says, oh, I might know where that computer is, and so on and so forth, until it finds the actual computer. Now that we have a basic understanding of how the internet works, we can talk about how it's shaping the world. With the creation of the internet, it changed the way that we access information. Instead of having to use encyclopedias or libraries, we just have computers in our pockets so we can access any real information that we want. There was a study done in the Journal of Academic Librarianship, back when the internet was first emerging, that during the high points and when it really started to catch on, all library usage went down, which is kind of obvious for today's day and age, but it wasn't back in the day. So it also changed the way that we communicate with people. It Instead of having to have mail or face-to-face conversations all the time, we can connect with people all over the world with the click of a button. So it's really brought people together. It's also changed the way that we share creative content. Before, you needed to have a physical medium to share, your paintings, your music, whether that was CDs or records or anything like that. And now you can just simply download a file, and you can share your paintings or your music all over the world. In conclusion, we've briefly gone over the creation of the internet, how the internet works on a high level, and some of the ways that the internet's changed the world. I hope these points have given you guys a slightly better understanding of a tool that you probably use multiple times a day. I'll leave you with this. Just think how much the internet's done in the last 40 years since it was created. Just imagine how much it'll be able to do in the next 40 years. Thanks.